Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Danny Cassidy. We do have a Storm Track 7 red alert day, or really red alert night, for the night tonight into Saturday afternoon, because we could see significant ice accumulations, a quarter-inch or more in many spots, which could lead to some dangerous travel and potentially some power outages. And this is tonight through Saturday afternoon. Here's where we currently sit with those winter weather alerts. Ice storm warning in effect for all the areas in purples, essentially Highway 20 and southward, but of course Delaware and Dubuque County just outside of it, and the rest of the area under a winter weather advisory. But anywhere you are in eastern Iowa, we could see that ice accumulate due to that freezing rain, and many areas could see a tenth, maybe 2/10 of an inch of that freezing rain, or freezing ice, excuse me. It could lead to pretty treacherous conditions. So I'll show you this here on Future Track. So for the rest of this evening, we're not going to see much, if that really at all. It's going to be about 10 o'clock. That'll be just on our western edge, and then it'll slowly start to build in. The worst, I think, is going to be starting after midnight. We'll see maybe a little bit of snow initially with the cooler air here. You can see temperatures in the mid-20s, a little bit warmer in the upper 20s, and you might be noticing, well, it's still below freezing regardless. There's a lot of warmer air up above in the atmosphere. So what's happening is it's starting as snow, and then it's warm above freezing, so that it's melting and becoming rain. Then as it hits the surface, it refreezes, and then on contact becomes that ice. So that's why we're seeing this even though the temperatures are below freezing. So we go through the overnight hours. Here is 7 a.m. You can see all of that pink, and you see the temperatures a little bit higher, so still seeing that freezing rain. And this becomes a problem too, because temperature's a little bit warmer. That's just a little bit more moisture to lock into. And that could be more of that freezing rain. So I think, again, Saturday morning is probably going to be the worst if you have to travel. Then here comes noon. Still seeing a little bit of that freezing rain, but at least the temperatures now are starting to get a little bit warmer. You see along and south of I-80, generally speaking, in that rain department. Now here's 3 o'clock. That's when the warnings officially expire. They could still change, but you're going to notice after 3 o'clock, temperature's a little bit warmer, starts to taper off, and now it's just more generally rain or even snow, which will definitely take over the ice. Then as we head through the evening hours here, now you're noticing it starts to taper off. Midnight, it wraps up, and these temperatures all above freezing, very close, but above freezing. What we'll have to watch is there enough cloud cover to keep things above freezing? If we see anywhere get close or maybe dip below freezing, we could see some refreeze late Saturday into early Sunday. So be mindful that even if it's done, we still could see some refreeze into early Sunday morning. So the snow, again, not the biggest concern right now, because a lot of it is going to be freezing rain. Maybe a trace to an inch in the gray here up to the light blue, a line connecting New Hampton, Elkader, north and east, maybe an inch to 2 inches. But the biggest component is going to be that ice accumulation. So notice a lot of areas could see anywhere from a tenth to 3/10 of an inch of freezing rain or ice, and some areas could see up to a ½ inch of ice on the roads. Now, we're not really super familiar with ice because these ice storms aren't really super common. So what does that equate to? Well, a lot of the area could see anywhere from a quarter to maybe up to a ½ inch. So as I mentioned before, that usually leads to some dangerous travel, maybe some tree branches that are sagging, and some power outages. The one thing that's a little bit abnormal is usually when we have these storms, it starts off as rain, then transitions to freezing rain into snow. And that can actually be pretty dangerous, because you have the rain on the power lines, then it freezes, and then you have like that kind of very wet, heavy snow, and then it all sits on a power line or a tree and snaps it. Not to say this can't happen as well, because that ice is going to freeze, or that rain is going to freeze on the branches and sag, but at least it'll be warming up through the day, so then it will melt off. But this can still cause some sagging tree branches and power outages, and combine that with the fact that it's going to be a little bit windy. That definitely could be something to keep an eye on, that your power could go out or some tree branches could be snapped. Winds are going to be pretty strong throughout the next 24 hours, 10 to 20 miles per hour. It'll finally dip down tomorrow night. Gusts anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour to the southeast, so bringing in a little bit of that warmer air as well as a little bit of that moisture. So to start off tonight, temperatures will be, for the most part, in the mid to upper teens, a couple of low 20s. But then after midnight, we'll start to see those temperatures rise throughout the overnight hours, then dip into the 30s, or reach the 30s, I should say, by tomorrow. For tomorrow, high temperatures will be right around or a little bit above freezing in the mid to upper 30s. And for the morning, mainly a freezing rain or a wintry mix, and then during the afternoon, more of a rain-snow mix. In the afternoon, it will get a little bit better for that travel. Your city-by-city forecast for Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City. Sunday will be quiet, at least a little bit mild, to help melt off more of that ice in the 40s. Monday or Sunday night into Monday, maybe see a light rain chance. Not going to be like we're going to see tonight into tomorrow. Monday staying mild, but here comes a pretty strong westerly wind. Tuesday, it's not going to be too chilly, but Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Thursday will be a little bit of a bump, but Wednesday is going to be pretty chilly. Friday especially is going to be chilly. Friday night into the first day of winter. Coincidence, I know. Going to get pretty chilly. Lows in the single digits, highs in the low 20s. But really notice, besides Saturday and maybe that light rain chance Sunday night, we are very dry over this 10-day forecast.